Hello, I'm Jonasz Lewiński and you're watching Break the Fake. They make them, we break them, and tell you everything you need to know. The world that we live in, once a mildly chaotic place, now it has become a full-blown geopolitical circus where every ringmaster seems to have caught the Putin syndrome. It started innocently enough. One ex-KGB agent in a bunker decided borders were just suggestions. Fast forward to today, and now everyone is clutching maps, drawing lines, and mumbling to themselves, "Oh, that used to be ours." Take Donald Trump, for example. The man took one look at Greenland and thought, big, icy, strategically located, yep, I'll take it. The Panama Canal? Why not throw that into the shopping cart as well? And while we're at it, let's turn Canada into the 51st state, because nothing says good neighbor policy like annexation threats made over pancakes and maple syrup. Meanwhile, in Turkey, Erdogan seems to have rediscovered his Ottoman Empire starter pack. He's busy drawing missile ranges on the map and whispering to himself, 2,000 kilometers, yes, that feels imperial enough to me. At this rate, the man might as well start measuring distances in Janissary marches. Ilham Aliyev in Azerbaijan isn't missing out on the action either. He's casually calling Armenia a fascist state and threatening to eliminate fascism. Nothing calms international tensions quite like casually recycling 1940s slogans while polishing your artillery. And then, of course, there is North Korea. Kim Jong-un has decided that the real threat to his regime isn't sanctions, nuclear standoffs, or even starving citizens. No, it's hot dogs and spicy soup. Yes, comrades, a sausage in a bun is now a weapon of Western imperialism. And if you try to get divorced, oh, off to the labor camp with you, because in Kim's dystopian paradise, love and dictatorship is forever. So, here we are. A world where leaders are hoarding territories, rockets, some of them even marriage status forms, all of that like they are some limited edition collector's items, or rare Pokemon, or something like that. And somewhere at the Kremlin, Putin must be smiling and thinking, "Ah, my little apprentices, I have taught them well." Yeah, what an utter embarrassment that is. Donald Trump, the gift that keeps on giving to Russian state TV. While most politicians try to avoid becoming propaganda fodder for authoritarian regimes, Trump seems to lean in, strike a pose, and say, "Make sure you get my good side, comrades." Recently, Russian state media was practically popping champagne corks after Trump's latest comments blaming the United States for Putin's invasion of Ukraine. "Finally!" cried the Kremlin's finest propagandists. "Someone gets us!" Yes, because when tanks roll into neighboring countries and cities are reduced to rubble, the real villain apparently is NATO membership forms? Trump, in his infinite geopolitical wisdom, also mentioned that he, and I quote, understands Russia's feelings. Feelings? Oh, Mr. Trump, Russia doesn't have feelings. It has missile silos, oil pipelines, and a burning desire to redraw every border on a Soviet-era map.
Украинский конфликт – это фиаско Байдена, но завершить его можно довольно быстро. Дания должна уступить Америке и Гренландии, а Мексиканский залив нужно переименовать в американский. Это лишь некоторые из заявлений, сделанных сегодня избранным президентом США Дональдом Трампом. До инаугурации 1,5 недели, так что ко всему, что говорит сейчас Трамп в Соединенных Штатах и во всем мире, естественно, повышенное внимание. Особенно если заявления настолько громкие. Что еще прозвучало сегодня, спросим у нашего САПКОРа США Валентина Богданова. Он на прямой связи с нами по телефону. Валентин, приветствую, вы нас слышите?
Мария, добрый вечер.
Да, итак, давайте по порядку. О чем говорил Трамп?
Фундаментальное заявление сделано по поводу Украины. Впервые на таком уровне в Соединенных Штатах было признано, что первопричиной происходящего сейчас на Украине является стремление безудержной американской предыдущей администрации в НАТО после обещания Байдена, который, по сути, спровоцировали этот конфликт. Трамп заявил, что он понимает чувство России. Давайте послушаем более полный ответ.
But hey, let's give credit where it's due. Trump is probably the only US president who can turn up on Russian state TV more often than Putin himself. Somewhere in Moscow, a producer is probably yelling, "Quick, loop that clip on Trump again. It is ratings gold." In the end, Trump might not realize it yet, but he's become a celebrity guest star on Russia's longest-running soap opera. Blame the West, praise the Tsar. And now we're moving on to Viktor Orban, the Kremlin's favorite EU saboteur and NATO's least enthusiastic club member. Also, the man who is not really likely to have any redemption arc whatsoever. While everyone else in Brussels is busy trying to keep the European ship afloat, Orban is drilling little holes in the hull and casually whistling the Russian national anthem, apparently. Now, recently, Ukraine clapped back, offering to, and I quote, kindly take Hungary's spot in the European Union and NATO if Orban feels more at home in Moscow's cozy Collective Security Treaty Organization or the ever-thriving Commonwealth of Independent States. Actually, none of these two are thriving and the CSTO is practically falling apart, but whatever. Honestly, Viktor, just say the word, and I'm sure Putin will have a golden throne and a lifetime supply of discounted gas waiting for you. Actually, the Golden Throne sounds a bit too like Warhammer, a bit too cool for Orban, unless it's a golden toilet seat, like the one that they presented Mr. Putin and Mr. Lukashenko in a certain sculpture created in the Czech Republic, I think. That would be perhaps slightly more fitting. Anyway, Orban, of course, blames Ukraine for Europe's energy woes because nothing says strategic thinking like accusing a war-torn country of sabotaging gas prices while happily signing energy deals with Gazprom in the back room. Let's face it, Orban isn't a politician anymore. He's a middleman, a geopolitical broker who somehow manages to enjoy EU funding by day and sip vodka with Russian oligarchs by night. Convenient, right? And yet, every time the European Union considers cutting Hungary off the budget tap, Orban throws on his "but I'm just a misunderstood patriot" face and gets away with it. Ukraine's offer is still on the table, Viktor. If you're so inclined, pack your bags, grab your little Kremlin loyalty card, and don't forget to send postcards from Moscow. Just don't expect anyone in Brussels to ever miss you. Amazing Courchevel, the glittering jewel of the French Alps, where the champagne flows, the fur coats dazzle, and the stench of hypocrisy hangs thicker than the mountain fog. Once a refuge for Ukrainian elites proudly waving their flags, it is now hosting Mother Russia's finest oligarchs, twirling under disco bowls to the soulful classic Matyushka Zemlya, or Motherland, because nothing screams imperial nostalgia like drunken billionaires waving a Russian tricolor flag on the dance floor. Yeah, this is real. This is not some AI-generated nonsense. You have literal Russians wearing fur hats with red stars, parading like there is no tomorrow, and having fun while Ukraine is burning. But, let's not blame the restaurateurs of Courchevel entirely for that. After all, money doesn't smell unless it's soaked in Gazprom dividends and marinated in sanctioned caviar. Western politicians, meanwhile, are doing their best impression of see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. Why disrupt the party when the vodka is top shelf and the tips are in crisp 500-euro notes? So, while Ukrainian troops shiver in their trenches, Russian oligarchs warm their fur-lined boots by Courchevel fireplaces. Western leaders, meanwhile, nod solemnly in press conferences and then shuffle quietly to the side to ensure that business remains business. So raise your glass, dear elites. Here is to geopolitics, to selective morality, And to the dance floors where sanctions are just a suggestion or a memory, and justice is left freezing outside in the snow. And with this, we conclude this episode of Break the Fake. Please stay with us here on TVP World for more latest news and updates. I'm Jan Średnicki. Bye for now.